Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, my dear friends. As part of my MSc first year, I got seminar topics. In that, we already discussed about behavior therapy. Okay, the second topic is second seminar on anti-anxiety drugs. Okay, today we are will discuss about anti-anxiety drugs. Okay. Anti-anxiety drugs. When we'll use these anti-anxiety drugs means when the patient is suffering from anxiety or fear or any tension, okay, we'll use these anti-anxiety drugs to prevent or to reduce anxiety levels in the patient. Okay. Here we'll see first what do you mean by anti-anxiety drugs. Okay, we'll call anti-anxiety drugs as anxiolytics and hypnosedatives. Okay, why will anxiolytics and anti-anxiety drugs are the same? Hypnosedatives in the sense like sedation, to give the sedations to the patient, will use this type of drugs. Means when the patient is suffering from the anxiety, what we'll administer anti-anxiety drugs. When we administer anti-anxiety drugs to the patients, what will happen? Automatically the patients will reduce in the patients, they will thereby we can reduce the patient's fear and anxiety in the patients. Okay, what will happen after reducing the fear and anxiety? Automatically the patients will go for relaxed state. So that is the way hypnosedatives are like anti-anxiety drugs or anxiolytics will call. Okay, these are also called as minor tranquilizers. Okay, anti-anxiety drugs also called as minor tranquilizers. Okay, what do you mean by tranquilizers? Tranquilizers are also drug of the choices. Okay, these drugs, tranquilizers, also minor tranquilizers also will use to reduce the tension and anxiety in the patients. Okay, the most of them belong to the benzodiazepine group of drugs. Okay, see, these are the drugs like anti-anxiety, anxiolytics or hypnosedatives or minor tranquilizers. These all the type of drugs are the benzodiazepine. These all the drugs are belongs to the benzodiazepine group of drugs. Benzodiazepines means these are the drugs, the first choice of treatment in the anti-anxiety. Okay, when the patients are suffering from the anxiety, this is the first, benzodiazepines are the first treatment choice. Okay, first they will use benzodiazepine or first they will administer benzodiazepine drugs. Okay, nowadays most of the people are using benzodiazepine drugs only to reduce anxiety and fear in the patients. Okay, here they have given some classifications. Okay, they given some classifications for anti-anxiety drugs. Okay, it's divided into three. Okay, it's divided into, if you'll we can see some related to these type of medications, we can see in the our second year BSc pharmacology also. Already we can know these all the drugs. We already discussed, we already had some knowledge on our BSc nursing second year pharmacology. Okay, the classifications, they have given three classifications. Okay, the first classification is barbiturates, the second classification is non-barbiturate, non-benzodiazepine anti-anxiety agents, the third classification is benzodiazepines. Okay, here the barbiturates means these are the sedatives. Okay, like barbiturates also to use to reduce the anxiety levels in the patients. Okay, the barbiturates classification, under this classification they have given some examples of drugs. Okay, for barbiturates the examples of drugs are phenobarbital, pentobarbital, secobarbital and thiopenton. Okay, these are the four drugs have given example under the barbiturates classification. Okay, the example of drugs in the barbiturates means like phenobarbital, pentobarbital, secobarbital and thiopenton. Okay, the second classification under anti-anxiety drugs are non-barbiturates, non-benzodiazepine anti-anxiety drugs. These are the non-barbiturates, non-benzodiazepine anti-anxiety drugs. Okay, here the example of drugs are meprobamate and glutathione and ethanol and diphenhydramine and methaqualone. Okay, these are the drugs of examples for non-barbiturates, non-benzodiazepine anti-anxiety agents. Okay, then next one is benzodiazepines. Okay, benzodiazepines, these are the drugs, presently these benzodiazepines are the drugs of first choice in the treatment of anxiety and for the treatment of insomnia. Okay, these are the drugs nowadays, that only I said, the first. Okay, these are the drugs they will use first choice of treatment for the anxiety. Okay, even we can use these benzodiazepine drugs to treat the insomnia in the sense like lack of sleep. When the patients are suffering from the lack of sleep, in those conditions also we can use benzodiazepine drugs. Okay, then the next one is like in the benzodiazepine. Okay, benzodiazepine again, like they have given some under that they are the sub classification is there under benzodiazepines drug, like very short acting and long acting. Okay, very short acting, very short acting and long acting. Okay, very short acting. First one is very short acting. Under very short acting they given some examples for very short acting of benzodiazepine. The first example of drug is triazolam, okay, midazolam. Okay, these are the two drugs which has comes under very short acting. The next one is short acting. Under short acting drug, okay, for examples are oxazepam and oxapam. Okay, they given trade names also. For short acting they given some trade names also, like for example oxazepam trade name is like Serapax. Lorazepam, the example of drug is lorazepam trade name is Ativan, Trapex, Larpos. Then the next example of drug is alprazolam. Trade name is Restil, Trica, Alzolam, Quiet, Angsit. Okay, these are the example of drugs as well as the trade names of the drugs for short acting benzodiazepines. Okay, short acting benzodiazepines drugs examples are oxazepam, the trade name is Seripax. Lorazepam, the trade name is Ativam, Trapex, Larpos. Then the next example of drug is alprazolam, the trade name is Restil, Trica, Alzolam, Quiet, Angsit. Then the next one is long acting, the third under sub classification, long acting benzodiazepines drugs. The example of long acting benzodiazepines drugs are chlortriazepoxide, the trade name is Librium. Then the diazepam, the trade name is Valium, Campos. The third long acting drug example is clonazepam, the trade name is Lonazep. The next long acting benzodiazepine drug example is flurazepam, the trade name is Nindral. Then the next one, last one is nitrazepam, the trade name is Dorpin. Okay, these are the examples of drugs for the benzodiazepine. Okay, very short acting, long acting. Very short acting example of drug is triazolam, midazolam. Short acting examples of drugs are oxazepam, the trade name is Seripax. Lorazepam, the trade name is Ativam, Trapex, Larpos. The alprazolam, next example of drug is alprazolam, the trade name is Restil, Trica, Alzolam, Quiet, Angsit. The long acting drugs examples of drugs are diazepoxide, the trade name is Librium. Diazepam, the trade name is Valium, Campos. And clonazepam, the trade name is Lonazep. Flurazepam, the trade name is Nindral. Then the next last one is nitrazepam, the trade name is Dormin. Very short acting, long acting benzodiazepines drugs. Okay, these are the classifications under like anti-anxiety drugs. Classifications are divided into three: barbiturates, non-barbiturates, non-benzodiazepine, anti-anxiety agents. Like the third one is benzodiazepine drugs. Okay, these are the classifications which have given for anti-anxiety drugs. Okay, the next one is we'll see the next next one is indications. Okay, what are the indications for benzodiazepines? See, why they given only benzodiazepine here means nowadays like they are using, mostly the people are using benzodiazepines drugs only to treat the anxiety, tension or fear in the patients. That is the way we'll see about benzodiazepines here. Okay, so indications, what are the indications for benzodiazepines? In the sense like when we have to use these benzodiazepines drugs, in which conditions we can use these benzodiazepines drugs to the patients. Okay, the benzodiazepines indications, the first one is anxiety. Okay, if the patient is suffering from the anxiety, we can use benzodiazepine. If the patient is suffering from insomnia, okay, like lack of sleep, in those conditions also we can use benzodiazepine. And if the patient is suffering from depression, if the patient is suffering from panic disorder and social phobia, when the patient is suffering from obsessive compulsive disorder, like when the patient is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, like when the patient is suffering from bipolar 1 disorder, when the patient is suffering from other psychiatric indications include alcohol withdrawal, substance induced and psychotic agitation. Okay, in these conditions we can use these benzodiazepine drugs. Okay, like the first indication is anxiety, the second one is insomnia, the third one is depression, the next one is panic disorder and any like social phobia, like phobia, fear of society or crowd places. Okay, OCD, when the patient is suffering from OCD, in those conditions also we can use, and post-traumatic stress disorder, in those conditions also we can use. Bipolar 1 disorder, bipolar means which combination of two conditions like mania and depression. Okay, the patients, when the patient is having bipolar disorders, the both conditions we can see in these like mania and depression. So bipolar 1 disorder, bipolar 1, bipolar 2, these are the ICD-10 criteria. Okay, so bipolar 1 disorder patients also we can use these benzodiazepines. Even other psychiatric indications like when the patient is having alcohol withdrawal, okay, alcohol withdrawal conditions also, even substance abused induced, substance induced conditions, even psychotic agitation, in these conditions also we can use these benzodiazepines drugs. Okay, these are the indications for benzodiazepine drugs. Okay, then we'll see the dosage for benzodiazepine. Okay, what are the doses for benzodiazepine drugs? Dosage in the sense when we are administering the medications to the patients, how much quantity or how much mg per day, how much mg we can use, either per oral, either parenteral like IM or IV, intravenous or intramuscular or per oral. Okay, how much quantity, how much amount or how much dose we can prescribe to the patients per day. Okay, here the dosage like mg per day, like the first one is, these all the all the drugs are benzodiazepine drugs. Okay, we should remember. Okay, the first dosage is alprazolam. Okay, the first drug is alprazolam. Alprazolam dosage per day is 0.5 to 6 mg per day per oral. Okay, oral like capsule or tablet form we can use this alprazolam drug, 0.5 to 6 per oral. Okay, then the next drug is oxazepam. Oxazepam, this is 15 to 120 per oral. Okay, oxazepam drugs, these also oral only we have to take, either tablet form or capsule form. Okay, 15 to 120 mg per day we can use per oral. Okay, then the next drug of choice is lorazepam. Okay, the lorazepam is 2 to 6 per oral, IV or IM. Lorazepam we can use in the form of oral, in the form of IV, in the form of IM, 2 to 6 mg per day. The next one is diazepam. Okay, diazepam is very familiar drug. Okay, diazepam is 2 to 10 per oral, IM slowly. Diazepam we have to give when we are administering IV injection to the patients. Diazepam slowly we have to give IV. Okay, even intramuscular also we can administer, even per oral also. That is the mg is 2 to 10 mg per day. Okay, clonazepam, the clonazepam dosage is 0.5 to 20 per oral or IM. Okay, intramuscularly we can give, and per oral also we can give clonazepam drug. The dosage is 0.5 to 20. Then chlordiazepoxide. Okay, chlordiazepoxide, the the dosage is 15 to 100 mg per day per oral, and 50 to 100 slow IV. Okay, 50 to 100 per oral as well as 50 to 100 slow IV also we have to give. Then nitrazepam. Nitrazepam, the dosage is 5 to 20 per oral. Okay, 5 to 20 per oral we have to give nitrazepam drug. Okay, then okay, this is the dosage for benzodiazepine drug. The next one is mechanism of action. Okay, here the mechanism of action for benzodiazepine drugs are anti-anxiety drugs under that benzodiazepine. What are the mechanism of action in the sense when we take these medications, either IV, either IM, either per oral, when we take these type of medications, benzodiazepine medications, what is the action in our body? Okay, what will happen means directly these benzodiazepine drugs will affect to the GABA receptors in the brain. Okay, first you should remember GABA receptors. What do you mean by GABA? GABA level, GABA receptors. Okay, GABA receptors are the neurotransmitters. Okay, inhibitory neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters in the sense these transmitters will give signals from the brain to the neurons to the brain. Okay, these will transmit, or these will send the signals from the neurons to the brain. Okay, this is the neurotransmitters. Okay, GABA receptors. There are the many neurotransmitters are there in our brain, central nervous system, like serotonin, like dopamine, endorphins, like catecholamines, either norepinephrine or dopamine. Okay, there are the many type of neurotransmitters are there to give signals to the brain. Okay, here also the GABA receptors also there. GABA, GABA, GABA in the sense gamma amino butyric acid. Okay, gamma amino butyric acid. Okay, these GABA receptors, what will happen to these GABA receptors when we use these benzodiazepines drugs means, actually these GABA receptors function in our brain is it will control when overexcited happen to the neurons, when the neurons are overexcited. Okay, when the neurons are overexcited, these GABA receptors will control that anxiety and fear. Okay, these will control the excitement, or these GABA receptors will control the fear and anxiety levels in the brain. That is the main responsibility, main function of the GABA receptors in the brain. So when the patient uses these benzodiazepines drugs, what will happen means directly it will affect on the GABA receptors. Okay, when it will affect on the GABA receptors means actually this works to reduce the fear and anxiety, right? So automatically when we'll use benzodiazepines what will happen automatically, these GABA receptors will increases. Okay, why should GABA receptors increases means already the patient is suffering from the anxiety, fear and tension. So when we'll use benzodiazepines drugs, automatically we can reduce the fear and anxiety, tension in the patients. That is the way. But the benzodiazepines drugs will bind to specific sites on the GABA receptors, and it may increases the GABA level. When we use benzodiazepine drugs, directly it will affect on the GABA receptors. What will happen to GABA receptors means we can increase the GABA levels by using these benzodiazepines. What will happen after using, why these GABA receptors should increase means GABA receptors should increase to control fear or to reduce fear and anxiety and tension levels in the patients. Okay, since GABA receptors is an inhibitory neurotransmitter, it has a calming effect on the central nervous system that reducing anxiety. Okay, calming effect. Okay, the main responsibility function is calming effect in the sense like it will reduce or control the fear, anxiety, tension in the central nervous system. So we should use, when we use benzodiazepines, directly affect on GABA receptors. After affecting on GABA receptor, automatically GABA levels will be increases. When GABA levels increases, automatically we can reduce the anxiety and fear, tension in the patients. That is the mechanism of action in the patient. Okay, mechanism of action of the benzodiazepines drugs. The next one is side effects. Okay, what are the side effects of benzodiazepines? Okay, what are the side effects of benzodiazepine means after taking these benzodiazepines drugs. Okay, after taking benzodiazepines drug, what are the side effects, or what are the like adverse effect we can see in the patient. Okay, even we can see after taking benzodiazepines drugs, sometimes the patients may have nausea, sometimes the patients may have vomiting, sometimes the patients may have weakness, sometimes the patients nausea, vomiting, weakness, you all know. Sometimes the patients may have vertigo. Here the vertigo in the sense like patient may have spinning sensation. Okay, spinning sensation of the body, like he will feel that he is not having any balance in the body. Okay, he'll feel that he may not having the balance in his body. Okay, feeling of spinning sensation, that is called vertigo. It may be external or internal spinning sensation of the body. Okay, that is comes under vertigo. Then blurring of vision, blurred vision also we can see. Then the body aches, body pains also we can see. Then epigastric pain. Okay, pain will be present in the epigastric region of the abdomen. Okay, sometimes the patients may have diarrhea, sometimes the patients may have impotence, sometimes the patients may have sedation, sometimes the patients may have increased reaction time in the sense when we'll have some conversations between each other, the patient who is taking benzodiazepines drug, they'll suddenly they'll reaction times suddenly they'll react to immediately they'll react. Okay, increased reaction time means they'll react automatically, immediately they will react for simple conversations also, simple topics also they will react, either they will give quicker feedback, okay, quicker feedback or giving quicker reaction, that is comes under increased reaction time. Then ataxia in the sense like improper coordination in the body, or improper balance or improper coordination in the body, that is ataxia. Then the patients may have dry mouth, okay, the patients may have dry mouth, and the patients may have retrograde amnesia in the sense memory loss. Sometimes the patients may have impairment of driving skills also they may have a impairment, and the dependence or withdrawal symptoms, sometimes the patients may have withdrawal symptoms also, like should be withdrawn slowly, okay, as a result the drug should be withdrawn slowly, okay. These are the side effects for benzodiazepines drug. After taking benzodiazepines drugs, these are the side effects we can find in the patient's body, like nausea, vomiting, weakness, vertigo, blurring of vision, body aches, epigastric pain, and diarrhea, impotence, sedation, increased reaction time, ataxia, dry mouth, retrograde amnesia, impairment of driving skills, dependence and withdrawal symptoms, okay. Then okay, now last one is we'll see nurses responsibility in the administration of benzodiazepines drugs, okay. As a nurse, as a psychiatric nurse, okay, as a psychiatric nurse, when the patient using these benzodiazepines drugs, okay, what is our role or what is our responsibility as a psychiatric nurse, okay, while administering benzodiazepines drugs, okay. Okay, already benzodiazepines drugs we can use as oral, we can use is intramuscular, we can use as IV also, okay. So while taking IV, IM or oral, what are the responsibilities while administering the benzodiazepines drugs to the patients as a nurse, okay. The first responsibility is administer with food to minimize gastric irritation, okay. See, before taking benzodiazepines drugs, the patients is supposed to take food, okay, either small or medium level of food the patient supposed to take to prevent gastric irritation, okay, or to reduce gastric irritation. With food only we have to take benzodiazepines drug. Without food we should not take, there will be a chances of gastric irritation. So the patients always they supposed to take, or as a nurse we need to administer benzodiazepines drugs along with the food, okay. The next nurse's responsibility is advise the patient to take medication exactly as directed by the physicians, okay. We need to advise the patients when the patient is taking benzodiazepines drug, we need to advise the patients to take medication exactly as directed, okay. Morning section or evening section, afternoon section, like twice in a day, thrice in a day, once in a day, how much, like frequency, everything we need to give advices to the patient how to take exactly how the prescribed by the physicians, okay. Then abrupt withdrawal may cause insomnia, irritability, and sometimes even seizures, okay. Abrupt in the sense suddenly, okay. Withdrawal symptoms, it may be alcohol withdrawal, it may be a drug withdrawal, okay. So abrupt, suddenly if suddenly withdrawal occurs, okay, suddenly if the patient stops alcohol, if the suddenly patient stops drugs abuse and all, what will happen if suddenly if they stops, what will happen automatically, it may cause insomnia, it may cause irritability, it may cause seizures also sometimes, okay. We need to check as a nurse, we need to check if the patient suddenly, if the patient stops withdrawal, the patient suddenly withdrawal any drugs or alcohol, the patients may have sometimes insomnia, seizures, and sometimes the patient may have irritability. These all the things also as a nurse we need to check. Then explain about adverse effect and advise him to avoid activities that require alertness, okay. Even we need to explain the patients after taking benzodiazepines drugs, okay, these are the adverse or side effects we can see in the patient. So we need to give advices to the patient, so don't worry, these are the condition, these are the symptoms, these are the effects we can see in your body, don't worry, no problem. After taking medications this may have, because when after taking medications, if the patient is having diarrhea, or if the patient not having coordination or any vomiting, nausea and all, patient may have fear and anxiety, right. So before that only, before administering only, we need to explain, or we need to give instructions to the patients about adverse effects also. Then the next responsibility is caution the patient to avoid alcohol or any other CNS depressants along with benzodiazepines
and also instruct him not to take any over-the-counter drug medications. Okay. Here the caution the patient to avoid alcohol. Okay. What do you mean by like caution the patient to avoid alcohol or any other CNS? When the patient is on the benzodiazepines. Okay. When the patient is when we are administering benzodiazepines drugs, we need to advise the patient not to take any alcohol, and see if the patient is not supposed to take any CNS depressants along with benzodiazepines, because it may leads to severe like brain damage. That is the way he is not supposed to take any alcohols, and he is not supposed to take any other CNS depressants drug along with benzodiazepines. Okay, then we need to instruct the patient not to take any over counter medications. Over counter medications in the sense without prescriptions. Okay, without prescriptions. See, for simple fever or simple diarrhea also they may take other medications. Okay, which is related to diarrhea, which is related to vomitings, antiemetics, like that they may take. So strictly we need to advise the patient not to take any over counter drug. Without prescriptions the patient is not supposed to take any other medications. Okay, then the next one is if IM administration is preferred, give deep IM. Okay, see, when the patient is when we are administering IM intramuscularly, we should give deep intramuscular injections to the patient. Then for IV administration, do not mix with any other drug, either normal saline or any other medication. We should not mix with IV injection of benzodiazepine. Okay, the next one is like last. Okay, the last one is, sorry, okay, the next one is like give slowly IV as respiratory or cardiac arrest can occur. Monitor vital signs during IV as respiratory or cardiac arrest can occur. Okay, here we need to give slow IV. Okay, when we are administering IV injection. Okay, intravenous, when we are administering intravenous to the patient as benzodiazepines. Okay, slowly we have to give IV injections, because there will be a chance when we will give fastly, there will be a chances of respiratory or cardiac arrest can occur. So that is the way we always should give slow IV injections to the patients. Even we need to monitor vital signs while we are during IV injection. Okay, we need to monitor vitals during IV injections, because cardiac arrest, respiratory arrest, in the sense like there will be a respiratory distress may occur. So we need to monitor vital signs. Respiration we need to check, BP we need to check, right? BP also we need to check, because there will be a cardiac arrest may occur, right? So we need to monitor vital signs during IV administration. Okay, then the prevent extravasation, since it can cause phlebitis and venous thrombosis. Okay, here like prevent extravasation, since it can cause phlebitis and venous thrombosis. Okay, when we are administering benzodiazepines drugs, okay, we need to prevent extravasation. Extravasations means after giving these type of medications there will be a chances of extravasation, means leakage of fluids from the body. It may be blood, it may be lymph, it may be urine. Okay, there will be a leakage of fluids may occur from the body. Okay, leakage of fluids from the body will call as extravasation. So we need to prevent that extravasations also. Sometimes it may cause phlebitis. Phlebitis in the sense like inflammation of the veins. Okay, inflammation of the veins will call as phlebitis, and venous thrombosis also. Venous thrombosis means like blood clotting in the deep veins. Okay, when we are administering IV injections, these are all the things we need to check. We need to prevent extravasation. Even we need to prevent like when we are giving IV administration, there will be a leakage may occur. Either blood may come, either lymph may come, right? When we are giving IV administration, that is the way we need to prevent extravasation. Like even it may cause, when the leakage occurs, it may cause phlebitis. Okay, like inflammation of the veins may occur. Even deep venous thrombosis also may occur, like blood clotting occur in the veins. Okay, these are the anti-anxiety drugs. Okay, anti-anxiety drugs. In the anti-anxiety drugs we have discussed about. Now I am concluding my topic.
Okay, I'm concluding my topic like anxiolytics or anti-anxiety drugs or hypnosedatives. Okay, we'll call these drugs as minor tranquilizers. Okay, mostly nowadays the people are using benzodiazepines drugs. Then we have discussed classification. Under classification, there are the three classifications are there: barbiturates, non-barbiturates, non-benzodiazepine anti-anxiety agents, and benzodiazepines. Again, the benzodiazepine is divided into three classifications like very short acting, long acting. Then we have discussed indications for benzodiazepine, and we discussed dosage of benzodiazepine, and we have discussed mechanism of action for benzodiazepines, and we have discussed the side effects of benzodiazepine, and we have discussed nurses responsibility in the administration of benzodiazepines drugs. Okay, these are the anti-anxiety drugs or anxiolytics or hypnosedative drugs. These drugs will use to reduce the fear, anxiety as well as tension in the patient. Okay, thank you ma'am, thank you my dear friends, thank you everyone.